Hey everyone, my name is Ferdi, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to transition from Civils 3D to InfoDrainage and back to Civils 3D, which is super exciting. The last time I've touched InfoDrainage was in 2023, and the Autodesk infrastructure team reached out to me and said if I want to test the 2026 version 2 and see what they have. And I was pleasantly surprised, especially with the Civils 3D InfoDrainage back to Civils 3D. Now, does this mean that InfoDrainage will get integrated into Civils 3D and become one software? No, they will keep focusing on InfoDrainage and developing it, but they will develop also the Civils 3D features to speak with InfoDrainage. There is this article, The Future of Drainage Design at Autodesk, and it covers all the questions that you have. For the purpose of this tutorial, I have prepared a quick pipe network and I've used the UKIE package, which is great because when you create the UKIE package and I create a new pipe network catalog, Autodesk was kind enough to do the pipe networks according to the design construction guidance for the sewer sector in UK. So that is really helpful for us engineers in the UK, and it saves a lot of time from recreating everything. And you can see I have added some gullies, some manhole, and some pipes. And obviously using the 2026 version, we can go to Object Viewer and actually view what we've added. Now you can see some of the invert levels are slightly off, but we will fix all that in InfoDrainage. Now, one of the very pleasant surprise was usually in the 2023 version, as far as I remember, you would import a CAD drawing of your catchment. And in this case, I have my polyline. But with the 2026 version and enhancing the connection between InfoDrainage and Civils 3D, we have this dock area, which basically it's a catchment. And if I right click and go to catchment properties, you can see straight away I've got like information like the name, styles, catchment properties, like runoff coefficient, which is great. Some people usually ask for 1, so I can just type 1 here. Then I've got the reference pipe network. At the moment, I'm not connecting it to anything, but what I could do is just go, hey, this will go to the drainage channel right here. Time of concentration, and then the runoff could be calculated different methods. I'm going to do the time area, hit apply, and okay. Now this is great because that means I can model everything in Civils 3D, like in terms of like pipes, manholes, catchments, and just put them in InfoDrainage and then run everything and then bring them back. And there is a lot of features that actually I was very pleased to see. So without further ado, let's begin. Now, as a good engineer, I have prepared my surface, which is basically the proposed. And if we go to the object viewer, you can see that I've got my building, my dock, and then we've got some landscape area where we're going to design our pond. Because we want to keep this video short and sweet, I'm going to do 2 catchment areas into 2 gullies or drainage channels. And then they will go into a pond. And I have not designed my pond yet, and I'll show you why later. And they will go to an outlet. I want to sort this catchment out. So what you need to do is in the tool space, you can go to catchments. I already had created a surface network 1 catchment, and then you can right click and create catchment from objects. I'm going to select my polyline, and then I'm going to hit escape because I don't want to set any uphills. And then you can see here, I can give it a name, so service yard, and then I can reference the pipe network structure and the runoff coefficient. I'm going to do the runoff coefficient 1 and hit OK. And then I'm going to hit enter. Finish, and then you can see that the service yard text is right there. I'm going to right click again to go to the catchment properties, and just to show you that I can add more information if I want. And also from the drop down, I'm going to put it into the MH8, and time concentration, I'm going to keep it to 5. Now let's say you've done everything, you have your network, you're happy with everything, and you want to model it. Now with InfoDrainage 2026 version 2, when I was installing it, it popped up a message about installing Civils 3D, and basically you get this tab here, InfoDrainage. Now let's pause and take a moment to review what we've got. So we've got 3 main buttons, and the other buttons are, the helpful features. And also I love that there is a suggest a feature, which is great. That means they care about the users. But we've got the export, InfoDrainage, absolutely fine. Import, and then the part mapping manager. I obviously played around a little with the software before I do this video. The part mapping manager is basically a wizard, let's call it, that will allow Civils 3D objects like pipe networks, manholes, pipes, to be translated into InfoDrainage objects. which is great. Now, in my case, I have not set up anything. So we're going to go straight to export to InfoDrainage. You can see this familiar blue wizard from InfoDrainage. And we're going to select the InfoDrainage file to export. So basically where we want to save it. I'm going to call it SN1, hit save. Next, we've got the option to export the surface network and also to select the surface. So I'm going to select the GM combined. We have other options as well, create a surface, but I'm going to use the combined one. And then next, we have the pipe mapping manager. So basically, we've got the connecting, so basically links and nodes. So here will show us all the used ones. And you can see that Civil 3D part family and the size. And then this is a junction and can change it if you want. So I'll keep it as a circular manhole. And then this one as a rectangular for the Eco Gully, let's call it 450 by 450, let's say. So now we've got all this. Now let's do the links. So we've got the UPVC. So it's a pipe and the diameter width, let's say it's 150. Once we've done all the mapping, you can save it for future use and you can see open other mappings and or populate the mappings. Now we can hit finish. You can see it shows straight away something that we missed. That's perfect. So we're going to add that one as 1350. We're using type C and type C minimum diameter is 1350. So if we hit finish, oh, that was quick. So let's go to InfoDrainage. Let's open our network. Okay, this is already really exciting. Let's slightly change our view. If I remember correctly, display settings. So we change it to 2. Yeah, that was perfect. So we've got our dock area, which is nice. And we've got our service yard, which is nice. So let's undo both movements. And then we've got goes to the drainage channel, goes to manhole. That's perfect. Now I want to import my DWG. Let's have a look. If we go to CAD, let's go to import data. We're going to select quickly our DWGs. Let's do our proposed site layout. Next and finish. Nice. And then let's do the topo as well. Import data. Bring the topo survey. Perfect. So now I'm going to draw my pond very quickly. So if I remember correctly, it's in build. We've got the stormwater control. Let's do a pond. This can prompt us to select a shape. So we're going to do a simple shape right here. And now what we're going to do is add a connection from S3 to the pond and then from the pond to S4. That's perfect. So now I'm going to speed up the video because I want to set up my invert levels and the pipes, just, make sure everything is fine. So now I have finished preparing my invert levels. So you can see here in the 3D that everything is exactly how I want it. We've got the drainage channels going into the pond. We also set up the pond. So we've put the dimensions, we've done the manning. So that's all perfect. Now, if I remember correctly, I can respecify the center line. So it's from there to there. Just to summarize what we've done, we're just going to go to right click on flow paths and add auto profile with the outfalls. And basically all that would do is just create a profile of it. And let's go and view it. We can see now we've got our profile that we can view everything. So we've got our dock goes to the pipe into the pond and then out. So now what we're going to do is quickly create a analysis criteria. Let's create a FSR rainfall, enter return periods. Let's do the 140% climate change. Let's do select all and duration. That's perfect. And we're going to now hit OK. Now we need to add our flow control. So our flow control, what we're going to do is double click on this manhole. In the outlets, we can go and do a hydro break, which is great. We use a lot of hydro breaks in UK. So let's do design depth of 1.5 because that's how deep the pond is. And design flow, let's do 2. Let's calculate. We're going to hit OK. And now what we're going to do is just hit go and it will perform the simulation analysis. That is actually quite quick. You can see the critical storm. The percentage available is 69. So we can reduce the pond. This one is a feature that I always like because it straight away tells you can reduce your pond or not. In my case, I'm going to keep it as is. And in the results, we're going to go to junctions, critical storm. We have some flooding in the MHA, probably is too much area going into that pipe and it's very small. You can see it's the 30-minute summer. That is fine because what I want to do is I want to run a deluge and see where that flooding will go actually. Let's remember the storm. It is the 100-year, 40%, half an hour summer. So if I go to the 2D analysis and right click 1D 2D analysis, I can select the FSR, select the storm. It was the half an hour summer. Let's do every 2, like the definition. We're just going to hit OK. It's building the mesh, running a very quick analysis, and then you can see that that's where the flooding happens. So you can see as soon as I tick, it just goes to 0.25 and shows where the flooding goes and goes into a dock, which is great. That means it will not impact third party land, which is great to prove to the flood authorities that any flooding is contained within the development. That's actually great. What we can do now is hit save. I'm happy with everything. Let's close it and let's import from InfoDrainage, and let's select our file, hit open and then next. And let's see what's asking us. Load from phase, use existing Civils 3D surface, or load surface from phase. Let's use the one from InfoDrainage because that's the little thing I want to show you that I was really excited. And we're going to do the half an hour summer event because that was the flooding event that we had. We hit next is basically asking us to translate them back into the Civils 3D. So in our case is 160, and this one again will be terracotta 160, and then in the junctions we're just going to translate them back and make sure these are all correct. I think I've done everything. Let's hit finish, give it a few seconds. So as you can see, it brought the lines for the pond. Not only that, but it actually created a feature line with the minimum the elevations of the pond, which is great actually, because then I can just go click on them, add to a new surface. So let's call it pond, and let's add some contours to the style so you can see what we have working with. And we hit OK, and let's add some definition. And you can see I've got my pond surface right now. This is fantastic because what we are changing now is we will model our pond in InfoDrainage where it matters. As you can see, the pond was oversized in InfoDrainage. We can reduce the size and then bring the feature lines into Civils 3D without having to model again the pond with the parameters that we had in InfoDrainage, which was a hurdle in the past, but this is great and fantastic. You can see that we've got now our pipe diameters and slopes all set up. Yeah, this is a game changer, I would say, because then I can just start setting everything in Civils 3D. Even the invert levels I could set in Civils 3D, like with the slopes and everything, and then just run it in InfoDrainage and bring it back. So you can see in pipe properties, you can view the properties of the pipe. So you've got like the slopes, got like the hydraulic grade line, flow rates, the junction loss, return periods that we've specified. So this is all fantastic. So we're going to stop the tutorial here, and we will be making more videos for sure. So hit the subscribe button to stay updated. So if you want to try InfoDrainage and play with all the new features that packed in, there's a 30-day free trial that you can just download and play around for 30 days, which is quite a lot if you ask me, like a full month playing with all these features to see if it's for you or not, which I'm pretty sure it will be for you. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.